Somalia stands at a crossroads, struggling to transition from years of instability to a future of inclusive democracy. Against resurgent insurgency, clan fragmentation, and constitutional turmoil, the question remains: can Somalia unify? Since the collapse of central authority in 1991, Somalia's politics have been shaped by clan loyalties, fragile federalism, and chronic instability. Despite the re-establishment of federal institutions in 2012, territorial control remains contested. Control is most contested in Mogadishu and the regions of Puntland, Jubaland, and Somaliland. Everyday life is shaped by checkpoints and local power brokers. These divided spaces set the stage for continuing political friction. In March 2024, the federal government pushed through sweeping constitutional amendments, creating direct elections and centralizing presidential power. Critics say these moves weakened regional checks. In response, Puntland withdrew recognition of the federal government. Jubaland followed in late 2024. Border tensions and competing claims escalated toward military standoffs. In July 2025, violent clashes broke out in Belet Hawa and Dolo between state and federal forces. The confrontations deepened the political standoff and increased civilian displacement. Somalia is preparing for a historic electoral shift. Local council elections were planned for June 2025, with state elections to follow, and federal elections in 2026. A 2024 voter registration campaign aimed to enable one person, one vote, Somalia's first since 1969. Opposition groups warn of a power grab, citing limited inclusive engagement and perceived commission control by the presidency. Credible, inclusive processes will determine whether the promise of elections is realized. 2025 marked a strategic pivot in peacekeeping. From ATMIS to AUSSOM, a mission with 11,900 personnel across military, police, and civilian sectors. The mission aims to stabilize central and southern Somalia amid funding and political uncertainty. Military gains stalled after 2022. Al-Shabaab mounted fresh offensives in Middle Shabelle and elsewhere. The group even attempted to assassinate President Mohammed in March 2025, an attack he survived. High-profile sites in Mogadishu remain recurrent targets of insurgent bombings. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud deepened political alliances via the New Justice and Solidarity Party. He drew leaders from Southwest, Hirshabelle, and Galmudug into his coalition. Yet the landscape remains fractious. Key opposition figures have quit amid an electoral row. Accusations of presidential overreach and weakening institutional checks amplify fears of governance by fiat. Amid political strife, Somalia faces a health crisis. A diphtheria outbreak surged in 2025. Cuts in foreign aid, notably from the US from $765 million to $149 million, undermined vaccination campaigns. On the international stage, Somalia and Ethiopia restored ties via the Ankara Declaration in December 2024, easing some regional tension. Somalia's geopolitical importance has drawn Turkey, the UAE, Egypt, and China, each seeking investment, influence, or counter-terrorism partnerships. The US continues counter-terrorism operations with Somali partners, but aid cuts and shifting patronage open space for Turkish expansion, including drones and energy deals. Competing external interests complicate Somalia's domestic politics and security calculus. Somalia's path forward is laden with peril, but also with possibility. The dual threats of insurgency and political fragmentation demand unity, inclusive reform, and credible elections. Federal vision must be balanced with regional autonomy and donor support, coupled with sustainable domestic governance. Without it, Somalia risks sliding into deeper instability, or worse, becoming a state only in name. Will 2025 mark the turning point for a democratic rebirth or the consolidation of autocracy amid chaos? For Somalia, the future hinges on resilient institutions, equitable politics, and security